What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. You know, I'll say this. As great as the Clippers can be, you've heard me say in my last video how good they can be and how the NBA should fear them. And I definitely think the NBA should, because they are definitely one of those teams, if they're well put together, if they're healthy, meaning what I'm saying, if they're healthy, they're going to be a team that's scary to face in the 7-game series. They're going to be a team that's scary to face every night, because you're not going to know really what to expect of them. You know Kawhi going to be Kawhi, but if Norman Powell and James Harden gives you the same consistency along with Kawhi, that's just a scary trio right there, along with all the defense that they have on their team compiled as well. But the only problem I think that they can stumble upon, in which you're kind of seeing it now, is the inconsistency of Kawhi being in and out of the lineup. You know, one night he plays, one night he doesn't. The Clippers are 4-1 with Kawhi in the lineup. 4-1 in 5 games. So it tells you Kawhi's effect is real. It's always has been and always will be, as long as he can play basketball. But the thing is, you look good for one game, and then against the Lakers, and then you come back and lose a game against the Bulls, a team you should beat. A team you really should beat without Kawhi Leonard. But the thing is, they're building chemistry with him some days, and then there's off days, and then it's like too much inconsistency there. And that can throw off their chemistry in the long run if they don't hurry up and get Kawhi Leonard back to full speed, to where he can actually, hopefully, they can find a way him up to full speed as quickly as they can, because they're definitely going to need that, because the inconsistency of him playing, them looking great some nights and them looking kind of like, sly or down the downslide some other nights against competition they really should beat, is really going to make them kind of, not play at their best, of course. And whereas before, when he wasn't there, they just expected him not to be there every night because he wasn't playing, and they played pretty much high basketball as much as they could anyway, because they didn't expect Kawhi to be there. But now mentally the players expect him to be there, and they expect him to help out with this, operation, this journey that they're trying to take. Really hurting them, the fact that he's in sometime and sometime he's out. And I feel like, it's hurting actually the two main players right now in Norm Powell and James Harden, because there's nights where James Harden can average, with Kawhi on the floor, he can have 12 to 15 assists easily every night. Without Kawhi on the floor, he can average 9 to 10 assists a night, every night. Norman Powell, he gets easier buckets when Kawhi is there. His buckets, the shots that he takes, are a lot harder when Kawhi isn't there. So the other two main players are affected as well when Kawhi is not there, because it just throws off their momentum, expecting him to be there, expecting his presence to be there. And, their rhythm just isn't going to be intact enough. Go on like a 5 to 8 game winning streak or something like that. And I think that's exactly what they're actually aiming for, to, build up some winning streaks so they can kind of get going a little bit more and separate themselves from the pack and be in the playoff contention pretty much throughout the rest of the season, and not flirt with the play-in tournament, contention. So, in order for them to do that, they have to start gaining some ground in regards to, basically getting more of a win streak going on, 5 to 8 game winning streaks, kind of like that. You kind of get those going in between, along in the season. It kind of builds momentum, kind of gets the team going, and then they can build on top of the success that they've seen, and they can just keep going from there. But like I said, they have to find a way to get Kawhi back in the lineup, pretty much on a consistent basis. I don't know if they're going to do the load management throughout the rest of the season. I really wouldn't personally say they should. But we're looking at Kawhi Leonard's health, then I guess you kind of have to at least consider that. And I definitely don't fault anybody who thinks that they should kind of play him in and out the lineup and then let the team kind of figure it out the nights that he's not going to be there. But I think in the long run, it really actually hurts them more than actually helps them, because when he is there consistently, let's say he does this the rest of the season, and then he's there consistently in the playoffs, hypothetically, they're not going to be used to him playing every single night with them, knowing how to let him do his thing on the floor while they still be effective doing their thing while he's there, because they're used to him playing one night off the next. You know what I'm saying? When you get used to inconsistency, it just breaks the flow and the pattern of everything when things go back to trying to be consistent. And I know Ty Lue is trying to figure out a way to, make that work, but it's just not really something that I think is going to work long term for them. So the good thing is, Kawhi started out with 19 minutes. Last couple games that we've seen him, he's played 24, 25 minutes. So he's kind of getting up to the point where he's feeling a lot better and getting his legs up under him, where playing more effective and he's playing more within his game. And we know when he's at the top of his game, he's definitely, a top 3, top 5 player in the league. It's not even debatable. Anybody that debates that at this point, really, I think they're just wasting their breath, to be honest with you. So I like what I see, from this team overall. As I said before, I think they're very dangerous, but I think this right here can hinder their growth, stunt their growth a little bit in regards to getting where they're trying to be, because with the defense that they have, they're always going to be in games with their defense. But when you take Kawhi in and out the lineup, the offense suffers, and you don't want offense suffering when we're in a day and age of everybody taking 40, 50, 100 threes per game, and nobody drives to the basket hardly anymore. Everybody lives by the three-point line. So if teams are knocking down threes a lot because they have a lot of offensive firepower and you're missing your main offensive firepower weapon, it really doesn't matter what Norman Powell does, because Norman Powell doesn't affect the game the way Kawhi Leonard does. He is a really good scorer. He is not a great player. The reason why Kawhi is great, because he can not only drop 25, 30 points a night, but he can also lock a few guys up every single night and affect the game with extra turnovers. He gets you extra fast break points, all those things that other players on the Clippers and other players in the NBA don't do. So, his presence there means so much, even when he's not scoring a whole lot. So, like I said, they have to find a way to at least get him on the floor a lot more to kind of help the team at least stay copacetic and don't be so inconsistent, because when you're playing against the better competition, you have to be as consistent as possible to build up that chemistry. So when you play against the better competition, everybody's more concise on what they need to do, and everybody knows their role, and everybody's playing at the highest level possible. And that's what the Clippers are going to be personified by: the better competition and, of course, the playoffs. So hopefully, Kawhi gets ramped up pretty quickly, and we don't have to sit there and watch him play, a night here, a night there, a night off here, a night off there. It's just really not going to make it a good ride for the Clippers if they have to go this way. But either way, I'm glad he's at least playing, and just kind of try to build off what we got and just kind of keep it going from there.